Now we have a guest in our studio. Douglas Henderson is joining us. The CEO of Wall Street Capital Partners is with us to discuss the Fed's rate cut and Turkish businesses in an ever-changing global economy. Once again, thank you so much for joining us here on ANews, Mr. Douglas.
My pleasure.
Let's start by the Fed decision again. Federal Reserve's decision to cut interest rates by 0.5% was larger than expected. But we were talking that maybe you were leaning on that side, actually. So what are the potential risks of such aggressive monetary easing, especially considering the inflation is already near the Fed's 2% target? Could this lead to a longer-term instability in the economy?
Well, yeah, as I told you the last time, I said I wouldn't be surprised if they did a 50 basis points cut, because I see this Fed as being a little bit on the political side. And and I also mentioned that would be a very aggressive move, one that I don't think, the economy currently doesn't warrant that kind of rate cut from the Fed. And if you look at the past, when they had these kinds of aggressive cuts, you look at a very significant recession in 1982, you look at the dot-com bubble burst in 2001, you look at the financial collapse in 2008, and then you look at COVID in 2020. I mean, is that what we were facing here? What were they, reacting like that for? And the answer is Donald Trump. This was a political move. I thought it was very aggressive. If they were really concerned about the economy and making a move to maybe ease and spur the economy, I think 25 basis points would have been justified. But they went aggressive, and I think the long-term consequences could be significant if we don't see austerity measures and significant growth as a result of the new administration.
So all of this, we were talking the last time, and you said all of this could benefit potentially Kamala. And from the Fed's cut, which could bolster consumer confidence and labor market stability. However, with Trump still leading in the polls on economic issues, how do you see Fed's moves shaping voter sentiment in this highly contested election? So
I think that Kamala is in trouble. And the reason why, there's a lot of polls out there that say, oh, they're neck and neck, It's a very, very close race. I would be concerned because typically what you see out of a convention is a much higher position than where she's at now. And if you look back in past elections, you'll see that the Democrats would have a much higher lead at this stage. And the fact that they're neck and neck and Trump is the one that's got momentum, I think that that's a bad sign for Kamala. And as you pointed out, in almost every poll, when it comes to the economy and things like that, then Trump definitely leads.
The 50% is going to help her or not? What would you say?
So as far as the short-term effects on, let's say, voters looking at their 401ks, yeah, the market may respond and they may look at their 401k and feel better. But the prices in the grocery stores that have gone up under this horrific inflation aren't going to come down. The rate of inflation has decreased, but the train's already at the station. And so I'm not sure that it's not going to have the kind of effect,
they hope to have.
At the grocery store and at the pump.
Yeah. So about the inflation, you were talking about it. In my notes, it says that it dropped from 9.1% to 2.5% since the mid-2022. So rising costs in key areas such as healthcare and food remain significant issues for years, as we were talking about it again in our last broadcast. Why does it not finally find the people of the United States when it drops like that? Who stops it?
So it's not what's causing this is the dollar supply, and the as I said, that the prices have gone up. They're not coming back down, and so that's going to have its impact.
So about the impacts on the voters as well. Do you think that they're going to make sure that they vote for something that is going to feed them, or they're going to vote for the hopes in the economy? What did we see in the past elections when we compared?
Yeah, typically, I mean, it's the old saying, it's the economy, stupid, and people vote with their wallets, and when they feel that kind of impact, they typically go that direction.
So let's talk about the U.S. labor market as well. It remains a critical indicator of economic health. How might the rate cut influence job growth and wages in the near term?
I think most businesses right now are being very cautious, and I don't think they're going to start hiring a lot of people just based on some favorable interest rate cuts. I think they're going to wait until after the election and take their cue from that. Are we going to be in a growth mode, or are we going to be in a business as usual, or more of the same mode?
So do you expect the job rate to go the higher or with this decision, or it is going to remain the same?
I think it's probably going to remain the same, and maybe tighten a bit between now and November.
And afterwards, about the elections, we are going to see two different approaches, and what happens is going to affect the U.S. economy and the world economy altogether, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
So what is the, I mean, I cannot ask you that, of course, but what scenario is more positive than the other when you look at solely from the economic perspective?
Well, I think, as I said before, I mean, I look at policies that indicate growth, and I think Trump's policies are more business-friendly, economic-friendly, and growth-friendly. And I see Harris's policies, first of all, she really hasn't articulated them clearly. I'd like to know more about what they are. But
is this a policy? Why not? Is this also a policy that she's trying to keep it in a low profile about the economy, or is it simply just they didn't decide it yet?
No, I think they are they're seeing that when they come out and speak, the polls go down. So I think they're in a hunker down, and let's not articulate too much.
Yeah, because it's going to cause problems whether we eat like this or not.
Yeah, it may do that.
Let's talk about with your extensive background in the corporate finance, let's talk about the corporate finance, including raising hundreds of millions in private equity and involvement in transactions exceeding $1 billion. What unique opportunities do you see in the Turkish market? How can Turkish companies benefit and navigate international mergers and acquisitions?
So that's why I'm here. I mean, I'm very bullish on Turkey. I think Turkey is the most attractive of the top 20 countries in the world. In those top 20 countries, I think the most attractive growth market is Turkey. And Turkey is definitely an emerging growth market. I don't think anybody disagrees with that. And to me, Turkey has all the ingredients for successful growth, and And so we're here to hopefully expose Turkish companies to the financial markets that are made available through NASDAQ and the New York Stock Exchange.
You highlight your approach to Turkish companies on and on, again and again, and it is quite important for the Turkish audience and also the Turkish companies that are watching our bulletin right now. So I want to also ask you about given your involvement in high-profile individuals, including leaders from global companies like Microsoft and Boeing, how do you think Turkish companies can strategically position themselves to attract similar international partnerships?
Well, I know this answer is going to sound self-serving, but it's demonstrably provable, okay? I think that Turkish companies can avail themselves of these kinds of opportunities by listing on the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, because those markets are supported by the global financial community. And if you look at other exchanges, I mean, that's not where the game is. You know, you're talking $30 trillion in assets traded at the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ, with volumes in the 6 billion range, you know, daily. And you're just not going to see that anywhere else on the planet. And when you are listed there, it is a moniker and it is a signal to the capital markets that you're vetted, that you're transparent, that you're not afraid to, you know, show what your plans are and where you've come from and where you're going.
So you're saying that is a place to be.
Yeah,
right now.
And you know, investors key on that. What's the number one thing investors want? They want predictability, and they want to understand what they're investing in.
So Turkey's geopolitical position also offers unique advantages for trade and commerce between Europe, Asia, and the Middle East. How do you see Turkish companies leveraging this position to expand their presence in the U.S. markets?
So the more you learn about Turkey, the more special it is, in my opinion. And this goes even all the way back into history. I mean, Mehmet II and Ataturk, these were two very special leaders that, that said, look, we're going to take a Western direction, but we're going to maintain our Muslim heritage. And when you're in Istanbul or anywhere in Turkey, you know, I don't care what religion you are, I don't care what country you're from, you feel comfortable and you understand you're accepted. And also I think that Turkey, as a Muslim country, also sets an example with women, because women are a very strong part of the work environment in Turkey. And they have strong voices and opinions, and they're respected. And so they're not fighting with one arm tied behind their back like a lot of other countries are. And so they set the example in that way. And then economically, there's dozens of reasons why Turkey's very strong, and we can go into those as well.
So about this unique experience that you're highlighting, I think the bilateral trade, let's talk about it as well, with the U.S. and Turkey expected to reach $35 billion in 2024. So with everything we talked about, what industries do you believe will play the most pivotal role in reaching the long-term goal of $100 billion?
Yeah, and I love that their target is $100 billion, you know, and so the top 3-4 industries, energy, textiles, automotive, tech. And what's most important is Turkey has the resources and capabilities to support those things. You've got energy coming into this country, big time. Okay, you have you're working on one nuclear plant now with 4 reactors, and you have I think 2 or 3 more coming down the pike here, and that'll be very significant. You have the Sakarya gas find in the Black Sea. You've got the Folios terminal. These are strategic assets that will play a very key role in growth in Turkey. And then you look at your demographics. Your demographics are strong in terms of the young population that's coming up to support the older middle class skilled worker population that's a consumer base that's also supports the older people at the top of that pyramid, and so it's almost perfect in that sense. So these are all very positive things that we see and know that the long-term play, Turkey is I think a very strong market.
So about also, in addition to all of these, Turkey had actual and industrial transformation over the 2 decades as well. It has elevated its global standing, especially in sectors like automotive and defense. We have different speciality in Turkey that only works on them, especially in sectors like that. And what role do you believe technological advancements and innovation will play in the future, solidifying Turkey's position as a key player in Europe's production and distribution hubs?
So when you're looking globally at the situation, we're looking at China, for example, okay? China, to me, is not a market to bet on, and that's another reason why Turkey's going to figure that out. And I think that they will turn to the United States for a stronger economic partner. China is headed for a very hard brick wall because they have the opposite demographic problem that Turkey has the advantage in. Their pyramid is inverted. You know, it's upside down. They've got all the young people are on the small little tiny place here. Their consumers are in this level, and then everybody who has to support those is at the top. And in the next decade, that's going to be a train wreck. And where's the world going to go for efficient, economical manufacturing? And I think Turkey is a prime potential candidate for that. They've got resources, they've got population, they've got infrastructure, they've got energy, they've got everything. So I think you're looking at an almost perfect storm, and that's why we want to get a piece of that and see what we can do to help those Turkish companies expand.
So let's hope that it happens to end up in a most beneficial way for the both parties that is involved.
Absolutely. You do okay, we do okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now let's continue with our news. Turkey has welcomed more than 35 million foreign